rode along with a veteran Peekskill drug enforcement officer to get a look at the problem firsthand. Suzanne, we spent 2 days undercover with a police officer on the front lines of Westchester's war against heroin. And as a new mom myself, what I saw left me terrified. Addicts are scoring heroin near shopping markets, elementary schools, and inside one place that will shock you. But police are fighting back. What do we need to know as we head out today?
Keep your head down.
Right off the bat, we learned this is no regular ride-along. With veteran Peekskill officer Matt Basso, he told us to keep our heads down or they might get blown off.
There's a huge heroin epidemic in Peekskill.
And with that, drug profits that need to be defended.
There's some times where, you'll leave the police station, you'll go on a patrol, and every car you pull over, you'll make a drug arrest. This drug used to be considered taboo. It was something that was kind of left in the alleyways or in the slums, and now it's in your neighborhoods, it's in your backyards. It's touched, your families, someone you've known, friend, someone you grew up with.
Officer Basso told us the city is awash in cheap yet potent heroin, and the proof came quickly.
We're going to drive around, we're going to center a couple of the dope houses, and we're going to see if we can get someone coming in to purchase heroin.
Only we didn't have to look very long.
One of the dope houses is up here on the left-hand side. Actually, we got someone coming out of the dope house right now.
Just 3 minutes into our ride.
Oh, perfect. He pulled away without signal, and he rolled right to the stop sign.
This happened.
We're going to run his plate.
With his hand ever so near his service weapon, and us heeding his warning to stay down.
Yo, stay in the car, brother.
Officer Basso cautiously approaches a suspected drug dealer's car, not knowing what will happen next.
I saw where you're coming from. I also know what goes on inside that house.
No idea.
Hop on out, bro. Do you use heroin?
No idea.
You're telling me you don't use heroin?
I don't use anything.
Okay, let me ask you this, all right? Because your pupils right now are pinpoints. Pinpoints. You got anything on you that's going to hurt me? Put your hands on the car. Anything that's going to stick me? You don't have any needles on you? Are we allowed to search your car? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Got the empty baggie with cocaine residue. He's got the straw for snorting it.
You got a rubber band. Heroin. I mean, these are all indicators of drug use.
So will this gentleman be placed under arrest right now?
At this point, it's just kind of leftover paraphernalia.
And so,
We're heading over to a known drug location.
our ride-along continues.
This drug knows no race, no ethnicity, no age, no social class. It's pretty universal. I can tell when someone's on heroin.
Addiction is something Officer Basso has learned to spot right away.
They look like walking zombies. They just wither away. It's just disgusting. The disease just eats them. The addiction just eats them. That's the only thing that they live for. They forget about their families. They forget about their jobs. They forget about any ambitions that they have, and they wake up every single morning just chasing that high.
And develop extreme paranoia. Another reason Officer Basso has to be ready for anything. Watch what happens as we show up and try to talk to a few of them.
Hey, Jennifer. Hey, listen. I got the news with me. They're doing a story on addiction. Do you want to talk to them?
I don't want to talk. Come on, what is it you kidding?
How you know my name like that, bro? That's scary, bro.
And we were shocked to learn the extremes some of these addicts go to hide their habits.
I've seen heroin hidden in the worst kind of places you can imagine. I found heroin hidden in an infant's diaper on the infant. Extra heroin. There's nothing off limits in Peekskill.
As we saw firsthand.
This is the parking lot of the A&P Shopping Center. Like I said, this is one of our known drug locations. We're always getting arrests out of here.
I wouldn't expect when I go grocery shopping to see my local heroin dealer out in the parking lot.
Yeah, well, now that you know, be mindful of it. Public parking lots are commonly used. Used to buy drugs, used to use drugs.
And not just at your corner grocery store. So we're riding along Grant Avenue now?
Yes.
Looks like a pretty quiet residential area. But within this quiet block, Peekskill police last month made their largest heroin bust in city history.
We seized $1.2 million worth of 100% pure heroin.
And in case you're wondering, this is what $1 million of heroin looks like.
That'll eventually be broken up what's called stepped on, and it'll be packaged up into smaller increments that you see here. If you snorted that amount, you would probably die.
From quiet blocks to deli counters.
These criminals are trying to, they constantly change and adapt their tactics to what we do, so it's a constant cat and mouse game.
But there's one place, I promise you, you will not believe heroin is being sold.
And there's a huge problem with drugs in that old people home. They're letting their grandkids are coming in and setting up shop and dealing out of their grandparents' house.
You heard right, an old age home.
After a while, if they can't get the drugs, you don't know what they're going to do. My son wants me to move. He wants me out of here.
Really feel bad for the old people. In your golden years, you want to rest. You want to not have to worry about those kind of things.
New information in a heroin investigation at a Sullivan County elementary school.
At least 2 young men have died of heroin overdoses.
Meantime, police in Carmel are issuing a warning after 4 heroin overdoses in just the last 2 weeks. And addicts never really know what they're buying. In Newburgh last December, a batch of heroin sold in these unstamped bags was laced with the powerful cancer drug fentanyl. Within just 3 days, 3 people were dead and dozens more overdosed.
You'll see kids, they're throwing up out of their mouths, foaming out of their mouths. They got the needles. They got the needles sticking out of their arm.
But there's only so much a local cop like Officer Basso can do. That's why New York Senior Senator Chuck Schumer is pushing for federal action.
There have been too many tragedies surrounding prescription drugs and subsequent heroin use in the lower Hudson Valley, and it's time to do more.
Senator Schumer is calling for the Hudson Valley to be designated as a high-density drug trafficking area, which would allow local officials to receive more federal resources to battle the heroin epidemic. In the meantime, Peekskill's police chief is putting heroin dealers on notice.
Dealers, get lost. If you don't, we're going to find you, we're going to lock you up, you're not going to get away with it. We'll fight the fight on every front. We'll educate, we'll enforce, and ultimately we'll prevent.
A fight with no clear front lines and danger around every corner. And we want to give a very special thank you to the Peekskill Police Department for allowing us inside their world. We hope this report and the others we told this week will serve as an urgent wake-up call. Children are dying, families are being destroyed, communities torn apart. If you'd like to see our entire series, head to our website at news12.com. Suzanne.
Very powerful, Tara. Thank you for that. Well, stay with us here at News 12 for continuing coverage of the heroin epidemic. You can see all 3 parts of Tara's story by heading to our website, news12.com. We'll be right back.
See this and all your local news anytime on your TV, tablet, or smartphone.